Well, I hate talking about the globalist. It seems like they're always on the front page, always in the next tweet. On the latest Instagram post, their bile seeps through everything. Now they got us all living all so close together, people with all their various problems. Yes, I understand we all have our own problems, but unfortunately, the greater majority of people don't know how to fix their problems. Well, we're in good hands here because we have many methods for dealing with those sort of things. But hey, don't you hate it when you have those fleeting moments of inspiration only to be taken away by the cat knocking over a bunch of books on your bookshelf, or who knows what other manner of destructive calamities run amok in daily life. But we do have a video course for taking care of that, for dealing with the Orlog, which is the Vrill Fire and Ice video course. But why stop there? You could have all 5 major Vrilock video courses and a whole slew of audiobooks and complementary documents and charts to print out for dowsing and amplification of your psychic powers, and and of course the complementary multimedia players. Did I mention that if you purchase one of my VMX drives this November, before the 30th, that you will receive a free Miraculous Prayer Board Mini? No? Well, you will. And that we've never done before. It's the first time, really, that we've ever given out a free Miraculous Prayer Board for a purchase of another item. So I thought, hey, that's something to be thankful for, this glorious holiday. It's not really a holiday. I mean, I guess in a manner, people call it a holiday, but, you know, we mix and interchange terms these days in our contemporary lives, right? Holidays are usually holy events. That is the classical view of a holiday. But now every day is a fucking holiday. We probably have all manner of holidays. Like there could be like a unicorn fucking holiday. In fact, there's probably so many holidays, you're sick of them. Well, I'm not about to talk about that. Today, we're going to talk about that mysterious voice, the inner voice, and the so-called chattering monkey. Yeah, you might have heard of this term before, the chattering monkey. If you've read any number of New Age books, many of them pointed out the chattering monkey back in the 1980s, when this sort of New Age thing was becoming really popular in the bookstores. Oh, I remember all those bookstores we used to go to. Now, of course, you order everything on Amazon or, I don't know, Barnes & Noble online, or you get ancient books for free on Project Gutenberg, yes? All good. But see, there's this chattering monkey. It's a metaphor for the noise in your mind when you're trying to focus on something or meditate, and all your worries or anxieties start flowing into your mind. Well, ordinarily, we practice listening to our breathing. We practice a very simple mantra that is the sound, the approximate sound of your breathing, which helps you quiet your mind, and we apply focused concentration methods such as focusing our gaze on an object, keeping that object in mind, and you build a certain strength. You walk away from these exercises with a certain strength, and this carries over into your character, and this also carries over into your life at work, at school, at social gatherings, and wherever you go. You feel more empowered. But it doesn't stop there. There's a whole lot more we do. However, no one, to the best of my knowledge, has ever taken that chattering monkey and put it to good use. You know, they say that the best way to defeat the subconscious, which is continually working against what you want, that is one analogy, that if you give it time, it will foil your plans. But if you phrase, and this is called formulations, in the arcane way of saying this, it would be called formulations. When you formulate your commands or your wishes and exclude, take out the element of time, you defeat that subconscious enemy. Just for lack of better words at the moment. Enemy. Okay, so you got the enemy in the back of your head. It's in the small brain, yes? And it's always working against the will of the frontal lobes of your brain, and so on. And of course we have, let's not forget, the center of will, the seat of your personal sun, which is about 3 finger spaces above your navel, and that is the solar plexus, and that is where will comes in. That is where we have the power of the I am merging with the physical incarnation. Yes. And there's a lot to be said about that. There's actually brain matter on either side of the spine, right there, behind the solar plexus chakra, which is known as the old Indian terms in a long time. I think it's called the Manipura. Anyway, we just call it the solar plexus in psionics. So it sounds more scientific, doesn't it? But it isn't. It's really just part of reality. And this reality, this incarnation, that you have your own personal sun, and it's a seat of will. It's also a seat of physical strength. In any event, I meant to say. I have a story about my chattering monkey and a product that I developed, which is available today, that you can download now. Actually 2 products, and we're expected to come out with 9 of these total in the series. 2 products that will help you do the same thing, and even better. So my story takes me back to when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was different. I trusted my inner voice. If my inner voice said to me, don't go down that alley, there's something odd about it. Or, don't give in to fear, walk down that alley. Or, give it up entirely and take a detour around this block. Or pick this multiple choice question, even though you don't really know the answer, and you are probably the dumbest kid in class. This is the correct answer on that multiple choice question. So, I had a great relationship with my inner voice because it was always right. It wasn't until later, after my, I'm going to say probably my late 20s, when or early 30s, when my mind became more and more conditioned, going to work, being around bosses and co-workers, achieving a certain degree or level of self-doubt. And that's where that relationship changed. However, I was given this free book, and it was a book of fiction. And they were apparently handing out many of these because it said on the book, this is the free version. And it was the first book by the late Robert Jordan. And the book was called The Wheel of Time, Book 1. Of course, now it's been made into like I don't know, some kind of a television series. No, I haven't seen it. But anyway, so I started reading this book. I kind of liked it, decided I'm going to buy the second book. Where can I get it? Go to Barnes & Noble's, get a book, and I bought that book, and I bought a few more. I found a couple that were in bookshelves at one of the apartments that I lived at many, many, many years ago. And I read that book too. And always the same thing would happen when I would read these books. Whenever I read the name of this villain in the book, who is apparently some kind of an evil spirit, not a physical person, but an evil spirit or a demon, I would get the feeling I was being watched. And I thought, well, that just must be a very good book, and I'm imagining things. But no, without a doubt, this was happening. So the name of that entity, that villain in the book, is Baal Zaman. And of course I think he is the servant of the ultimate villain in the book, whom is called Shaitan. Well, obviously the author of that book is, the late author of that book was a Freemason or something, right? So, I mean, yeah, or he read a lot of good books on demonology and so on. But I would read this book, or series of books, The Dragon Reborn, Heart of Winter, and so on and so forth. And every time I would see that name and read just a sentence or two, I really felt like something dark was watching me. Now this carried over into all manner of bad luck. I started having bad luck at work. Suddenly, the police sirens would go racing down the street, and the neighborhood was kind of changing. I put the book away, didn't touch it for some days, and amazingly, things in my life got better again. It was kind of weird. Maybe for me, there was a certain sensitivity to that name in that book. But I couldn't, for the life of me, understand why. I didn't have any superstitions about any of these names, really. And I still don't. But later what happened is I developed a character of my own. No, I'm not talking about Herr Doktor, but he is considerable. I am, and I am Herr Doktor. But I'm talking about the character Mr. Munson. Oh, the lovable Mr. Munson, my henchman, my henchstaff. And does he really exist? Well, only in my mind, and now in my books, actually a series of books. And it's called Keep the Magic High. That's most fitting now, isn't it? That's really my trademark for everything I do. Keep the Magic High, KTMH. But this series of books is a high-low series, which means it's simpler and easier to read. I think the second book is a bit bigger, bulkier, and longer of a read and more in detail. And the first book is more of an overview of the territory of mind and psi stuff. But they're great books. Now, what I did is I revised the first book and I wrote a second book. And working on the third book here until we reach about 9 books. I don't know, we might go beyond that number, but I have 9 of them planned. And it'll be a lot of work over the earth, and enjoyable work too. Hard work, but enjoyable. The ultimate goal is to help you, my friends, listening now, and my students, and my long-term supporters. I want to help you capture the ability to turn the chattering monkey into a useful servant, a servitor of sorts. You don't even have to charge him up with any energy. You don't need a sigil. You do not need a pattern. You do not need any radionics. You need only read these books. And as you read these books, you're going through sort of a ceremony where this is being conditioned into your mind to accept Mr. Munson is your chattering monkey, but he can be put to work to do things. It all begins by reading these books. So this is just wonderful. Never in my life have I read any occult or arcane books which teach us how to turn the chattering monkey into something actually useful. Because I mean, most of the time, the chattering monkey is a source of excruciating annoyance, diversion, distraction, and self-defeat. Wipe the table clean because you're about to start anew when you read Keep the Magic High, the High-Low series, and make that change in your life. So now, before we wrap things up here tonight, this evening, and I would love to stay and chat with you all, don't worry, I'll be doing another podcast soon. Straighten up, sit up, and may I have your attention. The Keep the Magic High series. As of now, of course, each book is $4.99. I barely see a penny of it. With all the third parties sitting in between, you know how it is. I mean, I'm not selling these with cryptocurrency or anything, so I don't get. And even if I was, hey, by the way, not to go on a tangent here, but the government would be taxing me when I go to cash out, right? So it's an unfortunate thing. If you're doing small money, it is. Now, if you're doing really big money in crypto, then hey, you're good. But in any event, it's $4.99 a book. And if you're a club member, guess what? You get 50% off. So you're going to pay about $2.50 per book. Hot damn, right? And if you get my VMX drive, which is even really a whole lot cooler because you get all these video courses, you get all these audiobooks, you get complimentary documents. I know I already said that, but I'm just reminding you. So do pay attention. You get all those, and you get some complimentary multimedia players. You plug that into your computer, or you plug that into your smartphone or tablet, and you can play all the content. You don't have to transfer files. In fact, I don't even recommend transferring the files, as it uses up a lot of memory. It's slow. Just play it straight from the players that are right there on the drive. It's got a dual flip drive, so you got one for your computer, one for your phone. I even throw in a couple of adapters for you, so you can plug it into other devices. It's waterproof, heat and temperature resistant. It's metal, it's heavy metal, and it's badass. It's even got the Vrilock emblem tattooed on it. And yes, it does come with a keychain, Mr. Munson. So Mr. Munson likes to do those sort of things, you know. He put the keychain on his hat and stuff, thinks he looks cool. But hey, you can look cool too, and you don't have to put it on your hat. You can, you know, tuck it in your pocket, your purse. I don't know if you want to wear it as a necklace. Hey, I love you. Flash that Vrilock emblem everywhere. And you will have everything that you need. Now, if you get this, like I said, this November, I'm going to give you a free prayer board. I'm not talking about this, you know, I'm not talking about a one-handed prayer board. I'm talking about both hands on this prayer board. A beautiful, pure white prayer board. Gold and copper pattern. And blessed by me. I'm going to sit there, I'm going to bless it for you. So it take me about 2 days to make sure this prayer board is ready for you. I'm going to give that to you for free with your VMX drive, just for supporting my work and just for having fun and being one of my great friends out there. A friend of Herr Doktor Vrilock is a friend who keeps the magic high. So, thank you. I hope you do get your VMX drive, and I hope you enjoy it for this glorious, wonderful deal of getting a free prayer board. And if you're in the club, if you are a club member, you already get that huge discount on the VMX drive. So go check it out, see what you get in the club. You get lots of things in the club. Free content. Our content at no additional cost after your membership dues. 5 years of glory. Videos, audible lectures, and a messaging system so that you can talk to me anytime you like. Hey, after all, we're friends, right? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on planet Vrilock, the Psionics Digerati. Until next time, I remind you all to keep the magic high. Herr Doktor commands.